Hello, today I'm going to show you how to do a full beauty makeup using 4K Longwear Cream. It is brilliant for beauty makeup for so many reasons. First of all, it's 24-hour longwear. In fact, it's even gone beyond that when need be. It doesn't budge once you put it on. It doesn't run. It doesn't go into fine lines or creases. It's multifunctional. It's humidity proof and sweat proof. And you can take it from being as full coverage as you want to being as sheer as you want. And so I want to show you all these different properties so that you can learn how to get the best from your 4K Longwear Cream. We're going to start off doing a little bit of moisturizer. I'm going to tuck my hair behind my ears, and I am taking Marvelous Moisturizer. Okay, now I made Marvelous Moisturizer because it was the perfect thing to get a more sheer and dewy finish with your 4K Longwear Cream. Now on my face at the moment, I've just got a couple of serums. That's about it. I've got no moisturizer on. So I'm going to take my Marvelous Moisturizer and put a little blob on my finger. And then I'm just going to massage it into my face and neck. Okay? It smells lovely and fresh. It goes on really beautifully. I'm going to take it all over my eyes, all across. Okay? And really work it in. So you're giving your face actually a little massage whilst you're going along. It's very, very great to be able to do that. Okay, so now that moisturizer is going in, it's sitting in and it feels really nice and dewy. It feels so great. I even use it on my hands actually. It doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't feel greasy, and it doesn't feel oily. And one thing to say, if you're using a moisturizer with Longwear Cream, is you really mustn't go for an oil-based moisturizer. It mustn't be very oily, because the thing with oil is it breaks down a silicone, and Longwear Cream is silicone. So you can go to lesser degrees with an oil, but you cannot go to a heavy, heavy, oily moisturizer. With that being said, too much watery in your moisturizer doesn't work either, because water and silicone repel one another. So you find a lightweight moisturizer or something like Marvelous Moisturizer. It really does feel great. And now what I'm going to do is I think I might need just a little bit more, and there is nothing wrong with going little by little actually. I want my face to feel like it's ready to receive the product and blend it in, and you'll understand why in a minute when I show you. So we're going to put a little bit more 4K on, and one of the things that you can do is just to pat it in as well, because then you leave a really beautiful finish on your skin. I like patting it in. It's something I learned years ago from a really fabulous esthetician in London, and she always taught me pat, 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 pat. Great around the eyes to pat. You don't really want to stretch that skin too much. Now, I'm going to take, which color shall I use? Let's start by using wheat and a golden caramel. Okay, now for me, I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use golden caramel, and I am going to use wheat, and I'm using refills. Okay, I made refills for you guys so that if you wanted to have an individual foundation just for yourself, you could go ahead and do that. And then I am going to take my number 10, my beautiful finest foundation number 10, and I'm going to just apply and mix as I go into my face, and I'm going to use a mirror for this. So what we'll do is I want to start with the lighter one first. Okay, so we'll start with wheat first, and we'll hold like this, and many's the time that I literally just take a palette and hold a mirror. Okay, so now what I'm doing is blending it straight into the Marvelous Moisturizer. Okay, going back over the chin, because here's the thing. You can layer long wear cream. Now, this is very, very pale. So what I want to do is to take my golden caramel. Now I'm going to add a little bit of this beauty. I'm going to take a little bit of Schmicks, 4K Longwear Schmicks, and I'm going to pop that on the back of my hand. This is just for doing personal makeup, okay? And what I'm going to do is actually take a bit of Schmicks and a little bit of golden caramel and just mix a little very, very gentle velvety finish, just to get some warmth going through. It's very, very important. I love doing a makeup like this. It's very subtle. I like seeing skin. I don't like seeing complete coverage. I know that it's all the rage and everyone likes to see complete coverage, but I've always thought that skin is one of our most beautiful assets, and it says so much about us. It says things about our life. It tells people about what we ingest, how we live, because of course your skin is your barometer. It tells a story, and I understand that for me, I like to have a very honest truth in my makeup. I do like going overboard, don't get me wrong. There's absolutely the place for a beautiful red lip and a load of eye makeup, but I've always made sure that my skincare was good, my diet was clean, my water intake was high, and so that my skin could be as good as I could get it. And then makeup was just another thing that I did to enable that. So going back to putting some color now and structure actually back in to Longwear cream. Don't forget to go under the chin, because there's always a little telltale area where you don't see the sun so much. And I'm keeping this very, very sheer and very, very velvet. And obviously don't forget the hairline. I always go a little bit over around the edge. Very important. Round the nose. Keep the cheekbones a little bit high because we're going to do something to them later. It's very, very important also to take the colour all the way back into the ears and around the back of the neck if you're doing this sort of thing. People forget the neck a lot. I think it's in error. If you've got a good product, it won't move, then you really don't need to worry about anything. Okay, so now I want to go back and mix a little bit more product just to put under my eye, but this time I want to mix the wheat and I want to mix the golden caramel, and I want to combine it with Schmicks again, okay? So again, a little bit on the back of my hand. A little bit of wheat, still with the same brush. Little bit of wheat. Little bit of golden caramel. To make a really soft colour. It's beautiful. And again, we're just going to take it under the eyes, just to warm that eye area up. I don't like it when eyes are too cold around that eye area. Anywhere else we need to go? I tend to sort of go back over skin. You know, because skin isn't just one colour, is it? It's all sorts of colours. Okay, so there we have a very, very simple foundation. I'm not going to powder it. Why? I don't need to. This self-sets. And once it's on, it's really, really on. I'm going to go a little bit tighter so that you can actually see just what my skin is looking like. Nice and even. Doesn't look like I've got makeup on. I might touch that little one out just a bit more. And we're going to go wide again. Okay. So, dropping these all over the place. Okay, so I want to take this brush. This is Best Kept Secret number 2. It's a marvelous little brush. I'm going to go back and take a little bit of makeup that I have left on the back of my hands. I just want to touch that little baby out. I think I'm going to mix a little bit more wheat into my pigment just to soften it down again and to lift that colour. There it goes. And it's gone. And now, of course, you can go back over all those little things that you really aren't happy with. We're going to do that. Right, now let's do a little bit around the eyebrows. I haven't touched my eyebrows at all. I'm going to show you that there really is absolutely nothing on them, and we're going to go closer in on this, which is very, very scary. Hello. Yeah, very, very scary indeed, okay? So what I want to now show you is how you can turn longwear cream into a paint using a little bit of Schmicks or even a little bit of 99% alcohol, which is brilliant. What's wonderful about the alcohol is, of course, once it just evaporates, your brow is there and it is longwear. So I'm going to take a little brow brush, I'm going to take my handy mirror and just brush them into shape. And I really don't want a perfect brow. So we're using Essence. And I'm going to take also my classic 1A. Don't know if you can see that. There it is. Classic 1A. And make a paint. So I'm going to put a little bit of alcohol into the lid of my pan, and I'm going to take a soft colour from Essence palette, and I'm going to just paint tiny little hairs in. It's super fine. It reads very softly. And it doesn't read like makeup. And I can get right to the root there. If I blob a bit like I just did, I quickly just grab my Q-tip. It's always handy to have Q-tips handy. Please remember, if you're going to have Q-tips, have them with the paper middle, because those are compostable and degradable. The ones with the plastic ones, we all know what plastic does. There's absolutely no reason to have anything plastic now in our possession. I just want to sort of go where I need a little bit of help. Okay, so we've got Best Kept Secret 5 there. I do love putting the complexion into the face first, and then you know, when I'm working with creams, because I don't have to worry about fallout, I can do the eyes last, and it sometimes works better for me that way. So I want to take beautiful Vida palette and also Ether palette, these two. Okay, so taking Schmicks again, I'm going to pop a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going to take a little bit of my soft mauve from Ether palette, and I'm going to take, I think I want to use, I'm going to take a little bit of soft raspberry from Vida palette. And I'm going to mix them and make a really sheer cheek stain. Okay. And then I'm going to pop it on. Can get in with your fingers as well. And actually, what's so wonderful about using products that interlace with one another is that as I'm blending this onto my cheek, it's combining with the foundation underneath, and so they are adopting one another, so to speak. Don't forget, when you're doing your makeup, move your face around. Of course, I like a little bit on my chin, rub it in. I like a little bit across the forehead. Yep. And you take a second brush and you buff it in. You dry buff it. And it becomes like skin. You can even do a little bit over the top of your nose if you want, wherever. And it just gives you more of a, if you want a tan look. You don't want it too pinky, maybe you wanted a bit of corally. So mix the brown. See the difference? How you can adjust makeup. I also like to do a little bit across my lip. I'll tell you why in a minute when I do my lips. Okay. Taking that Berber colour, you can make a lovely colour for your eyes, and just a very natural brown. Same brush. Back and forth. Bit like a windscreen wiper on a car. And I'm going to come in now with my classic 8 and just blend it in again. Don't want any little white gaps. Watch out for that. Okay. Can even take it under the eye so you put the eye define back. Okay. To get best kept secret number 1, super small brush, and I think I want to go into Brio palette, and I want to mix a little colour just to smoke my eyes out just a tiny weeny bit. So I'm going to take a little bit of black, put it there, maybe a bit more. I'm going to take a little bit of the aubergine in there because I like a plum black, very beautiful colour, and just a little bit softer, and I'm going to schmix in with it too, so it's good and soft. And then I'm just going to go right in and very, very softly take that line to about 2/3 of the way across. And again, because you've got that schmix in there, you get a little bit more play time with the longwear cream. You're shearing it out. And you're getting that definition. Let's go a little bit closer so you can see. Okay, we're putting the definition in there. Look, I can do a little bit more now. Now that one layer has dried, I can put in the other. I'm going to do the top too. I'm going to take that same colour, don't forget the base of the lashes, always get into the base of the lashes. This brush is brilliant for doing around the eyes. Its little point really works everything in beautifully. Let's give it a bit more definition here. That was pretty good. Maybe even it there a bit more. Yep, looks good to me. How you can use longwear cream even as a mascara if you need to. Now, this little genius brush is the classic 6A. It is the mini bent fan, and it really works well as a mascara brush. I'm going to go and take some of that lovely jet black and mix it again with schmix, just to give me a little bit more play. That's all I want, is a little bit more play time. And then I'm going to use it to apply to my lashes. And then what I like to do is press back. So that's the first coat. Let's do the other side. Okay, then we're just going to do bottom lashes, back and forth. But I like using this brush because it's just much more subtle. Okay, let's mix some more black and give it a second coat. And if you see any little gaps, because we've all got them, cheat. Remember, it's all smoke and mirrors makeup. It is all smoke and mirrors. Clean up anything you might need to do around your eyes if you need any, if you've got anything. But I quite like a little bit of texture. Some people call it mess, but it's not really mess, is it? Nothing's mess if you want it to be there. Okay, so I've got a nice natural looking cheek. I think I'm going to just give it a little bit more love. I'm going to go back and reactivate the colours that I made for my cheeks and just use them with a bit of schmicks. Because you can do that. You don't have to keep taking more and more colour out of your palette. Just reactivate what you've made already. It's brilliant. A little bit of flush on the neck too. Love that. And then just brush your lashes if you need to with a spoolie. And you're pretty much done. Now, one thing, see, what do you think? Let's go wider. So a nice fresh face, brows, mascara, smoky eye, natural eyelid, cheeks, foundation, concealer, everything's done up. And I am using this brush, my beautiful #1 fine detail brush. So let's go a little bit tighter. And I'm going to be using colours again from, let's see now. You know what? I'm going to use some colours from Brio for this one because Brio has got some really amazing pale pinks. They're very neutral and it can really pop your waterline. I'm going to just pull gently and go straight along the waterline. You can see on this side it's so much cleaner. So really nice and clean, nice clean face, and I want to just wipe off my hands now because I'm going to pop a lip on. But I just want to show you, you've really got to rub hard and use a little bit of cold cream cleanser to help get rid of it. Rub it in, emulsify everything, and wipe. See? Good old cold cream cleanser. So I've got quite a bit going on here, but I still feel like I want to put a pop of colour. So I have a feeling that I want to take my Vida palette, which is lip wear, and I think I want to put a nice pop of something on, but I have a feeling it might be more of a corally pink. The brush I'm going to use for this is Classic 6. This is a baby concealer, and I love Classic 6 for my lips because it just seems to do a soft makeup the way I want it. Now, which colour shall I use? Let's use, okay, so the colour that I'm going to use is Rose. The first thing I do is rub, because you can put another coat over. I don't go to the corners ever. For me personally, I go marginally over the edges, but then I soften it. And then I just get my finger and take that indent down. Yep, didn't take long, did it? So this is the finished result.